You're listening to the Shaun of the South podcast, brought to you by Food City, dedicated to providing you, their valued customer, with top quality products at the best value every day. From certified Angus beef to locally grown produce and in-store made baked goods, nobody does food like Food City. Find a store conveniently located near you at foodcity.com. Shaun of the South starts now. I'm in Baltimore, looking at the Chesapeake Bay. Cold, gray water, brown grass. Canada geese overhead playing Follow the Leader, honking in sing-songy tones as if to say, my butt is cold. Because it's cold here in Baltimore. I've always wanted to see the Chesapeake Bay, my whole life actually. It all started because my dad was a reader. He read books obsessively. You could see him sitting in his chair, poking through some thick volume, page by page. Usually, he read boring books, such as those outlining the various stratagems of the Allied forces' offensive maneuvers within the Pacific War theater, or the biography of the long and complicated history of dental floss in the United States. He read especially before bed. I'd peek into his room to say goodnight, and he'd have a book in his hand, glasses low on his nose, and he'd kiss my hair and say goodnight, and then he'd just keep reading. He was a blue-collar, steel worker, but he tried so hard to defy this image by forcing himself to do non-blue-collar things like listening to classical music even though he hated it, or writing down vocabulary words for himself, and then trying to use these words in sentences. Words such as loquacious or munificence. The last book I remember him reading was Chesapeake by James A. Michener. I believe my father had read all of Michener's books, but he deemed Chesapeake his favorite. Not just his favorite Michener book, but his favorite book of all time. Years later, when I was 13, I was going through a box of his things one night. Old baseball gloves, old photos. And I found his favorite book. And I just held it in my hands, clutching it close to my chest, as though this book had strange magic inside the pages. I tried to start reading it, but the language was too high-minded for a 13-year-old whose most advanced reading involved catching up on the exploits of Jimmy Clark and Lois down at the Daily Planet. I got a few chapters into the book, and I was deeply discouraged. I was a poor reader. I had no earthly idea what the book was even about. So I had to start from the introduction again. And this time, it took a few pages at a time to get the gist of the story. I forced myself to understand the words. I wanted to love this book. I needed to understand the words on the pages because I wanted this book to be my favorite book too. And something happened. I fell into the story. As I read the book all the way through, all 859 pages, I felt proud of myself, like I'd grown 4 inches before I'd finished. And I guess I've never felt closer to my dad, a man who loved a novel about an American body of water he never lived long enough to visit. And now I stand here, overlooking the Chesapeake Bay. I have never seen this water before today, and I'm the same age my father was when he took his own life. And for some reason, today I am grateful for the munificence of God. Sorry for being so loquacious. Well, thanks for listening to Shaun of the South. I've been your host today, Sean Dietrich, and it has been a true privilege to find out anything more about what I do, you can visit SeanDietrich.com, or for those who are not particularly good spellers, you can visit SeanOfTheSouth.com, and there you can find out all sorts of information that you didn't know you didn't need to know about me. And while you're there, I hope you take the time to drop me a line. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me what's going on in your life. I'd like to hear it. And in case anyone hadn't told you today already, I love you. Now go say that to somebody else. Have a great day.